FeatureCam 2015, the optional solid modeling module has been greatly improved with a change to the user interface. When creating any kind of solid modeling operation, we now have an apply button that allows us to either apply and edit the properties of the item we've just created, or apply and create more, which allows us to continue using that same solid modeling operation and build the solid further down. In this case, you can see we've got a series of features, but in this file we don't have a solid. I'm going to go ahead and play a 3D simulation. This allows us to view the current state of the component. I want to create a solid directly from this. First of all, we need a base solid to start from. In this case, I'm going to use the solid wizard. By selecting the solid wizard, you can see here it tells me, or gives me two different options. I can either define a custom shape, or I can use the stock as the base solid. I'm going to choose the option 1 and choose next. I then get an option here, pull down menu that allows me to finish and edit properties, or finish and create more. In this case I'm going to select the finish and edit properties, and I can go ahead and change my definition if I wish to do so. In this case I'm happy, so I'm going to say cancel. I've now got a base solid created from the stock, and you can see this in my part view tree. I now have a solid has appeared. Next thing I want to do is I want to apply the features to the solid, and this will allow me to cut different elements away from the solid itself and start to build up the shape of the component. To do this, I've already turned on my solids toolbar. If you have the solid modeling option, you can do this by right clicking and choosing the solid option. From all of these pull down menus you can see we've got different methods, so extruding, filleting, cutting and so on. In this case I'm going to select the second option down, which is from a feature. I can now go ahead and identify the features that I'm interested in. In this case I'm going to select the facing operation. If I preview this and view from the side, we can see here the amount of material it's going to take off using that facing operation. I'm going to be happy with that, but I'm going to change the option. I'm going to say apply and create more. This will apply the face cut, but it will also allow me to start adding extra features. You can now see it's gone to the next feature type. I can go and identify, in this case, the boss, say apply, and continue this all the way through. So I'm going to select the second boss and apply, select that pocket, apply, select that pocket, apply, and then we have a series of holes, some in patterns and some not in patterns. Final item is that last hole pattern. I can say apply, and in this case I'm going to cancel the form now. So those are all of my solid operations have been added to my solid itself. What I now want to do is I now want to have a look at the solid and maybe make some modifications. Let's zoom into this region. And here you can see I've got my hole that I've created. This hole was based on this pattern. If I edit this hole, the way this solid has been built, it's been built parametrically associated to the features themselves. So what this means is if I change the feature, it will automatically update the solid. We can do this by changing our hole type. In this case you can see we've got a 6mm diameter, so I'm going to change to a different hole. I'm going to go for a standard thread, in this case an M8 by 1.25mm. As soon as I say apply, you'll automatically see not only the feature update, but the hole will update in the solid. That's made the change to the model I'm interested in. As well as that, I can take it a stage further. So for example, you can see this pocket here. I can change the boundary that this uses. In this case, if you turn on the curves level, you'll see there are already some additional curves in here. And if we look down the list of curves in our part view, you'll see we've got pocket 1 curve and we've got pocket 1 curve alternative. I'm going to go and edit that pocket 1 into the boundaries. I'm going to uncheck pocket 1, and then using my hyperlink I'm going to go and select that pocket 1 alternative. As soon as I say OK and apply, again you'll see not only the feature update, but it will also automatically update the solid itself. Say OK to that, you can see the pocket has been updated. I can now run through my 3D simulation just to verify my solid and my machined model like so.